Hey everybody, Brian here. So in this video I want to show you this car here. This is a 2019 Hyundai Ioniq. This is a full electric car. So actually these were like the first of the electric cars that came out with Hyundai in Ireland. So that was, I think it was around 2017 into 2018. Anyway, this is a 28 kilowatt hour battery. So, you know, the first question for a lot of people is how far will that travel? So at the time they were kind of quoted in around kind of 230 odd. And normally, I think someone that's buying a car like this, really what I'm saying to them is, you want to be ideally looking for a car that's covering about 200 kilometers. So for some people, that's not going to work. But for some people that are city-based, either this is their main car or it might even be a second car in the house, it's definitely a very good alternative. So the charge cable, to get it out, we need to unlock the car. We unlock it. Actually, just while it's charging, there is, along here, an indication there that tells you exactly what the car is doing in terms of charging. But if you really want to know what the charge level is while it's charging on a car like this, in through here, when you open the door, it tells you how long is left, it tells you the percentage on it. So the car hasn't got too much charging time left. What's important on these is there's a 6.6 kilowatt hour onboard charger. So that's the maximum it can take. So if you have a charge point in your house, so this is one we have here. Some businesses actually will have like 11 kilowatt hours. This is 7. So if you've got like, which most single phase private residential houses, maximum they're going to put out is 7 kilowatts. This car can maximum take 6.6 of those. So what that means then is if you have a 28 kilowatt hour battery and it takes 6.6 every hour, and it's not like perfect like that, but like that'd be kind of 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. So, you know, 5-ish hours for a full charge on a car like this. Anyway, what we'll do in the video is we'll have a look around the features on the inside and the outside, and we'll go for a quick drive. So like we're saying, yeah, unlock it, plug out the cable, and then store it away. Okay, I'll be honest, one thing on electric cars I've seen, charge cables, no one has a really good, I don't think it's possible, nobody's got a real good one. Like every manufacturer has the exact same thing. So they kind of do get thrown in. What I would advise, if you're getting a charge point for your house, get one that's tethered, which means it already has the cable built in, so when you pull it out, you're pulling it or putting it straight into the car, and then you can just use this for like the public domain or whatever. The boot is quite tidy. This is actually a really low mileage one. So there's a speaker in through here. There's quite a long boot, so I think there's excellent boot space in these cars. And then under here, just a little bit of storage, tire mobility kit. No space for a spare wheel on these, but this is like we're saying, a low mileage one with about 38,000 kilometers, one owner from new with a full service history from our garage. If you want, then this can cover over so you get good privacy in the rear, and the rear windows are also tinted, so they're quite dark, as you'll see on the back of that car as well. It has nice chrome down along here. There's nice chrome on the top of the door handles, not all the way around, just on the top. And one thing I always thought was cool in these, they had a little light in there, so when you're getting into the car at night, it kind of shines up around there. And the wing mirrors, they retract when you open and close the car. Getting into the car then, it has this function here. So if I have the key, I can use the key like normal, lock and unlock, or I can just press the button to similarly lock or unlock the car. So this car, in terms of starting it, there is a button over here. So these full electric ones have this nice kind of copper surround. The hybrids had a more of a blue kind of colour from recollection. So like you're saying, this car probably is nearly charged. What have we got? 98%. Get another 2%. So we're probably going to move up into about kind of 195, something like that, full charge in winter. Based on the previous driving, one thing I would say on all these electric cars is the predictor is a predictor, but it's not perfect. So it is going to try and copy your driving style. So somebody that does, we'll say, gets onto a motorway every day, does 120 kilometers an hour, gets into work, and then somebody that creeps across town in traffic, the motorway person is probably going to have a lower predicted range than the other person. So that's just a function of what the car has been doing. So that is variable, but I think anyone that's going to buy a car like this, in around 200 kilometers is what you want to be aiming for. If you need something that's doing 250 or 300, then I would advise to look at a different type of vehicle. Cruise control is over through here, and then after that, various trip information you can manipulate along through here. There is adaptive cruise control. That's one thing people give out about on the Kona. So this one has adaptive cruise control. So basically you hit the cruise, take your foot off the pedal, but it'll follow the car in front. If they slow down, you slow down as well. Over here, electrics for windows and mirrors that we saw. And then, just while we're here, VESS. That's where we have a little noise when we're creeping along. It's kind of hard to do actually because there's so much noise in the background here. Controls to open up the fuel flap. There's charge management. So like say you say, I want the car to start at 2 o'clock every morning charging and turn off at 6 o'clock or whatever. You can do that obviously in through there in the settings. But say for example you have that automatically set and you want to get into the car and just charge it, you could plug it in and it won't charge because it's only going to charge at these times. So you got a quick manual override in through there. Also there's a button there if you want the cable to unlock. So maybe you want to leave it in a public area and you want the cable to just become unlocked at the end of charging, or sorry, stay locked more to the point, so nobody can rob your cable. That's one of the buttons you use. Lane departure warning if you're drifting out of lane. Regenerative braking, so I can increase or decrease the amount of regenerative braking on the car. If you're into electric cars, you know what that is. If you're not, when you let off the pedal, the motor that's turning one way, it switches the direction. It's taking the energy from the wheels through the motor, switch the other way, putting it back up into the battery, you know, gaining back a little bit of power, not an awful lot, but okay. So in through here then there is a reverse camera, fine, and over through here then we have all these menus in here for things like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, if you want to use Google Maps and Spotify and all that. But in fairness, there is navigation on the car from the factory, but okay, let's face it, Google Maps these days is a lot better. Speed up or slow down the car, warm or cold or whatever, and then that EV menu is just bringing up the EV menu in here. Driver only is pretty cool, so that's was new to me at the time when they came out, so you could just kind of have the climate just revolving around the driver and not over there. So in other words, it was using less power. Over here, heated seat for passenger, heated seat for driver, drive mode, which was making throttle response and all that kind of stuff more aggressive, and also changing how the clocks looked in the center there as well, so that's pretty neat. And then down through there, there's heated steering wheel and your handbrake. In here, some storage with a USB connector and another USB connector and 12 volt power, and a big storage area, really big storage area down in here. Another nice thing, actually, there's wireless charging, so you can leave your phone sitting down through there and it'll wirelessly charge. These are controls here then for Bluetooth. This one is nice in terms of condition. So we've had a few of these through over the last couple of years, but this is probably one of the lower mileage ones. So the seats, they have 3 head restraints, 3-point safety belts, armrest that comes down through here. There was a lady that had the car from new, she'd bought it with us. Actually that seat is quite far back because I was just pulling it back when we were videoing, so that's probably more reflective of how I would sit in a car. But like the rear of the seats, the plastics, all that kind of stuff, door cards, it's all in very nice condition. I'm not trying to give you a big sales pitch. This is, in my opinion, one of the better ones I think on the market at the moment. I'm not saying there's bad ones around, it's just I think this one's a really nice genuine one with low mileage. Height of the seat, lumbar support for lower back, that's a rake reach steering wheel, so it goes up and down and in and out as well. One thing I really loved in these cars when they came out, the electric ones had these really nice looking taillights at night, so they kind of go across and back up, and they have these individual LEDs in there. Like I was saying to you, you always know the electric ones because they have that kind of copper finish, whereas the hybrids, I think it was blue, that was where you see the copper accents on these, so they look pretty nice. And then at the front, I think it's actually a really nice looking car. I love the headlights on these. So these are parking lights in through here. When I'm driving, they're big daytime running lights. When it's in park, unfortunately, it won't show them up. But I really love these dual LED headlights in here. So they give good light, but I think they look pretty nice. In there is your full light. These are your dip lights. And then you got this LED indicator in here as well. That beeping sound is just because I'm getting out of the car with the car still running technically, and I have the keys. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some pictures of the car. I'm going to go for a drive in the car then after that, so I'll show you guys what that's about. By the way, if you want information on this car, please do give me a shout direct. 086 843 1945. Call, text, WhatsApp if you want information about the car, or if you want information about financing, or if you want information about trading in a car, or anything you want to know. The quickest way to get a response, give me a shout. Brian is my name. 086 843 1945. Anyway, let's go for a drive in the car. Actually, just before we go for a drive, one other thing I noticed, look at the detail, right? Look inside in the headlights, there's again little copper surrounds. Never noticed that before. That is actually awesome looking. Anyway, we'll go for a drive. Just for anyone that's curious about the regen braking, so you see along here when the car is driving, I'm using this paddle or this paddle here, and if you see on the dashboard, then you can see recuperation lessening or increasing depending on what my preference is. Like I was saying to you, that's when you're letting off the accelerator and the car is freewheeling, for want of a better phrase. That's how much power or the rate that it's going to try and absorb power from those turning wheels. So in terms of driving the car, anyway, look, if you want, when you come, we'll explain that a bit better to you. It's easier to kind of demonstrate rather than explain. But okay, to start the car, I can either park, drive, reverse or neutral. Handbrake will release automatically, so that's fine. So in this case, I'm going for D. In terms of driving the car, this example drives really nice, but you know, it's a low mileage car, you'd expect it, but the steering and the brakes and, you know, accelerator, even just looking around the cabin and stuff. It's a nice it's not perfect, it's a 4-year-old car, but it's, you know, I think it's very nice condition for the year of the car. The way these cars drive, like some people all used to say, oh, there's no engine, so there's going to be a lot of road noise. I do not find that in these cars at all. I find it very similar to any combustion engine car. I love the drive mode. You see the way I can change, so it gives me more power, but also I can change how the clocks are just by pressing the little button down in the center here. So there's 3 different drive modes, like eco and normal, and then there's a sport version as well. The car itself, right, so say when you're driving along, if you're, you know, most people will just cruise and use the accelerator and the brake, but the paddles we talked about, if you hold down the paddle on the left, it will slow down the car and act like a brake rather than using your brake pads. These cars are about 120 horsepower, so when you put your foot, like, that's not a lot, but it feels like a lot. You get this real immediate burst of power. So when you put your foot down, it feels a lot quicker than it actually is. Well, it feels a lot quicker than a 120 horsepower normal combustion engine car. Anyway, come drive the car, see what you think of it yourself. But they are actually a lot of fun to drive. One other thing actually that's worth mentioning on these, so there is a warranty on these cars. So the car, we'd put a 12-month warranty on the vehicle anyway, but it has manufacturer's warranty until 2024. Crucially though, the battery, that's the thing that people worry about. So these came with an 8-year of 160,000 kilometer warranty. So this car will have a warranty until 2027 on the battery. So like we're saying, if you want information on the car, or if you want information on trading in or anything like that, Brian's my name, 086 843 1945, call, text, WhatsApp. I think this car is going to suit somebody that wants a electric vehicle. If they're doing, you know, very city-based driving where 200 kilometers is going to get them out, or like we were saying to you, if it's kind of, they have a combustion engine car for long journeys and they want a second electric car in the house for most of the day-to-day stuff, then this is an excellent platform for that. Low mileage vehicle, nice genuine example. And we are a family-run business in operation for over 70 years. So hopefully the video has been useful. If I've missed anything, let me know, and I will do my best to answer the questions you have. Thanks a million for watching.